Hey everybody, it's me, Halo Monster for Anti-Lag, and today, like I said in a previous video, I will be going over Forge. I'd like to focus on Halo 2 Forge because it's brand new, and I think that they did an awesome job with it. You can really tell that they took Halo 4's Forge and vamped it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here. And unlike most people where they just kind of spawn a brand new map that's kind of empty and alone, I'm going to go ahead and use one of my previous maps that I created because I feel like it gives more of a sense of background and a little bit more depth. I'm just going to go into basic editing because I don't need anything terribly outlandish for the time being, but I really like that they added Halo 2 Forge. That way it brings back that sense of community from Halo 2 and Halo 3 that you can do anything, kind of, that sense of feel of I can create my own game type, like Michael Myers, if anyone remembers that game. You can create your own maps. The freedom in this, just like a wash here, is a completely open skybox. There's no terrain in it whatsoever, and it's just flat water until the edges of the map where you can see there the islands. Those are outside of the map. You can't reach them. You have to build your base, your foundation. And I just really like that because you don't have to work around somebody else's base. You don't have to work around somebody else's map to get what you would like. And so as we go into here, I'm going to show you first a few things. Go straight up here and show you the skybox. The skybox is amazing. I mean, the detail in it, the clouds move, and it looks really good. Obviously, not the best graphics in the world for those islands there, but they're background. They're not supposed to be something that you're focusing on, unlike the sky. I mean, the sky looks beautiful. You're going to see it a little bit more. And then again, like I was saying, I already have a custom map here. I think my best asymmetrical map that I've ever made. But I'm really liking it because it's a small map. I kind of tend to do small maps because I'm not so great with vehicles. I mean, I love being in vehicles. I love playing in vehicles. I just don't know how to build around vehicles, but they have that availability. Literally, I believe pretty much this entire perimeter here where the islands are is your play space. So it's an absolutely huge play space. And with such a huge play space, just going into the HUD here, as you can see, your radar makes a return, no doubt. Your health bar or shields bar makes a return, no doubt. But now they give you a little D-pad toggle there that says, hey, you're in editor mode, not in player mode. So click up on the D-pad if you want to go to player mode. So, I mean, I'm indifferent to it. Awesome, but I didn't really notice it for very first time. The biggest things that they changed here is you no longer have a price value for everything. Everything costs a certain price, and that's what affects how many things you can put on a map. Now it's just a straight object counter. Everything is valued at 1. And then with that, up on the top, just underneath your shield bar, you'll see that performance meter. With this entire map, it is not quite done. It's finished in every way except for the game types, so I need to add some game type stuff. But with an entire map like this, even in depth maps, the larger maps that I've seen other people do, I've never seen that performance meter read. I'm assuming it either drops or turns red when it's saying, hey, you're not quite at your optimal speed here with how much stuff you have on the map, because obviously there is a point at where it's like, hey, you can't do any more. But with this, it's huge, very huge. So going off of just the looks of the game, the thing that bugs me the most is the water. The water is this constant teal no matter where it's at, so it kind of doesn't have depth to it, or at least as much depth as I think it should have. The cool thing is this entire map is only about a foot of water, so no matter where you are, Like if I was just to come over here and enter player mode or dive straight into it as the editor, you're not going to die. Unlike all of the other games where the water has a specific limit, and once you go past that limit, you die, they took that away and just added this kind of ground. But like I said, the water's this teal, so you can't see into it. It doesn't feel like water. It feels like kind of nothing. It doesn't play as well as the Halo Reach or Halo 4 water that you could see into it. So I wish that they would update that and the splash effects. The splash effects are pretty bad. But other than that, Forge is royally beautiful. As you can see here, they've added the terrain so that you can build your own terrain now. They're set pieces, as I'll show you, just like these cliffs around here are one shape. They come in 3 different sizes, but they're still one shape. So they added this natural selection area and a terrain area. So cool. So you have your flat small. It's just this like little piece of land that you can, you know, maneuver whatever way. But it gives you a piece of terrain so that you can be like, hey, yeah, I'm making my own island. Cool. And then you have 3 different sizes. You have the small, the medium, and the large. So large is pretty big. So obviously, just based off these, with the 300 or the 650 count, you can make a pretty big map. The things that bug me is they're all the same. Like literally, the medium cliff is exactly the same as the large cliff, just different size. So it kind of bugs me that there's not that much difference, but your creativity is the limit, really. I mean, I made an entire map with the same 6 objects, really. So I really like that you can now create 100% of your own map. Obviously, it's not as in-depth as, say, like Far Cry's, but it does way more than enough to get you going. As I said, that there's this just flat grass plane, so that now you can just go ahead, throw down a grass plane and edit around the grass plane and, you know, walk on it, all that stuff. Cool. But it doesn't really match the tones of the other items, so it's kind of a little bit different. I don't mind it too much. I know some people do, but what the hell. Same with all the rest of the natural selections. The rocks are like 3 different rocks, but they have 3 different sizes. The cliffs are 3 different sizes, but they're 3 different, you know. And so they brought back a lot of the stuff. Almost everything, as far as like their structures, are just imported straight from Halo 4. They're exactly the same, except they added now mirrored objects. Like here I used 2 of the same and 2 of the mirrored objects. So this one here and this one here are identical. As you see, Y cross large, and then this one here is just Y cross. So reversed, reversed, large, large. So they added a bunch of reverse things. So just like this tower here, it was notorious for, I don't know, I couldn't really build with the buildings because they were asymmetrical, but now they have mirrored sides, so you can kind of make a symmetrical map, exactly symmetrical, instead of just having to force your way around that. So I really like that. As you can see, most of the stuff is exactly the same as Halo 4's Forge. They've brought back precision editing. I haven't really used it. I don't really know how. I know it's the left trigger for precision editing. I'm just not sure how that works. I know it goes incremental. Instead of, you know, picking up an item and moving it with the right trigger, it just kind of moves it. Precision moves it left. I've holding the left trigger, it locks me in that direction, and as you can see, everything is a little bit more gritty, a little bit more snappy. The lock and duplicate make a return, so that's no surprise. But the big things that I really wanted to talk about are these here. I have a console here. If you can remember it, it's the console from Zanzibar in exactly the same manner. But the thing on top of it is what's important. That is a switch on. So in-game, if you have a switch on dedicated to a specific channel, kind of like the teleporters, and you have an object or something dedicated to that same channel, it will make that object either spawn or despawn depending on what you do. So I have this energy sword here that's set to the same spawn, so that energy sword does not appear on map right off the bat. Somebody has to click that button to make it spawn. And same with these one-way shields. I have these one-way shields where they're not there at the beginning of the map. If somebody comes into this building and clicks this button, that shield appears. And so they added that kind of that dynamic map ability that they've added in the multiplayer maps into your Forge so that you can do it yourself. And there's just endless possibilities with that. And I absolutely love it. And then a few other things they've added, mostly vehicles. Obviously, the one that people are super stoked about is the Gun Goose. Gun Goose, as you see there, just has the guns on the front, but it's a really awesome vehicle. It does some not great damage, but it's awesome. It's an awesome vehicle. But also you can see here that they've added instead of just one Banshee, they now have the Heretic Banshee, which is that kind of orangish gold from the campaign that you can use instead of just the purple one. And I really like how they added that. Kind of gives it a custom feel there. And then of course they've added the Hornet from Halo 3. I really liked the Hornet in Halo 3. I really like how they added it here. Kind of gives the Banshee a run for its money, and I love how they did it. But my favorite thing, which is probably the most useless, but my favorite thing is now they've added the civilian Warthog from the campaign's billboards. And it's exactly like the campaign's billboards. It has the extremely ridiculous huge rims, as you can see there. The very sporty kind of tire tread. No longer does it have the gun. It has the spare tire in the back. But you can drive it. It's 100% functional and it looks great. I just don't know what the point of it is other than that nostalgia, that oh my god, they could and they did, and I love it. So I would love to find somebody who finds a way to use this, probably most likely races, but you know, they used it, which going into racing, that's another thing they've added. They've added race gates, so instead of just having your little what are they called, like trait zones or whatever, that say, hey, this is a checkpoint, they now have gates that say, hey, I'm a spawn gate, or I'm a objective gate, which goes into the scripting, which is exactly like the button presses and stuff, and the gadgets. Now you have all of your gadgets: explosives, cannons, trait zones, teleporters, special effects toys. But you also have map gadgets, which are the switches, like I was talking about. The EMP device. If you watch the trailer, that's there. But now they also have a glass window, which you can break with, I believe, explosions. I have not seen it broken by shooting or by hitting it, but I believe explosions. And say this ice stealthy light, or however you pronounce that, that if you hit it, explode it, or whatever, it'll fall. That will also break the glass, I believe. It is in the update of Lockout. That's what they have there. Unfortunately, it is ice, it is blue, and none of the maps are. They don't really fit that kind of votive, that theme, if you know what I'm saying. So it kind of bums me out. But they brought the gate from Zanzibar. Now you can use that in any of your maps and have it functional. And I just think that I really like that they did that. I really like that they added the dynamic layer of that and kind of, bring it back. So it makes it makes me feel more involved with the game. It makes me feel like there's more I can do. There's more possibilities, and there's more things I can do with the community. So again, I cannot wait to see everybody's possibilities of that, what you guys build, what you guys come up with. If you do build one, if you do love it, post it down in the comments below. If you want to see anything else, post it down in the comments below. I'd really like to hear what you think. But thank you so much. This has been a quick, not so quick, kind of overview of the Forge and what's amazing about it in Halo 2. Please like and subscribe, and thank you so much.